This is Graff Main Hall, room 205, and I'm going to give you a quick rundown on how the audio-video system works in this room. Here at the teacher station on the left-hand side is our controller, and in the upper left-hand part of the controller is our projector control. Right now, off is highlighted, which is why the projector is off. If I press the on button, the projector powers on. It takes about a minute for the projector to power up, so while that's happening, I'm going to go ahead and log on to the computer. I'll pull out the keyboard tray and then follow the directions on the screen. It says press Control-Alt-Delete to begin, and then I'm going to read the responsible use and click OK. My username is my 8.4 UWL user ID, which is just like the first part of your email address, and my password is my UWL net ID. And then I'm going to make sure this third line says log on to Eagle so that we can get onto the computer here. I'll click OK, and the computer will boot up. In order to make sure that the PC is showing up on the projector, I come back over here to my controller, and I press the PC button in the source select on the right-hand side of the controller. And then the computer comes up on the screen, and the class can see it. On the right-hand side of the teacher station is the document camera. On the right-hand side of the document camera is the power. I'll press the power button. It'll take just a second for everything to boot up. Your advanced controls are up here by the camera. The wheel will turn to zoom in and zoom out. There's autofocus and manual focus. The only time you would really not want to use the autofocus is if you were doing something active or were changing the focal length quite often. After the document camera is booted up and ready to go, I come back over to the controller and press the document camera button, and that's going to put the document camera up on the screen for us. Underneath the keyboard tray here is a DVD VCR. If you had a VHS tape, you would put it in on the right-hand side. If you had a DVD, you'd put it in on the left-hand side. This DVD VCR button is going to scroll back and forth between the two functions of the unit. And then up here on the console, on our controller, you have the VCR option and the DVD option. Whichever one you press is which one's going to come up on the screen. Then we can either use the remote control, or we can use the front panel to play whatever it is we have inside the DVD. If the DVD needed to be adjusted, if the volume needed to be adjusted, we come to this volume knob. Turning it to the left will reduce the volume. Turning it to the right will increase the volume. And this volume knob is what we're going to use for any audio that we might have, whether it's our laptop or another device, or the PC that's here on the desk. In order to connect our laptop, all the connections we need are right here on the desktop. If I open up this trap door, you can look inside there, and there's a power supply, so I can plug my laptop right into there. I don't have to string it along the ground or rely on my battery power. There's a video cable, which I'll plug into the video card, and an audio cable, which I'll plug into the headphone jack. And this audio cable is what you would use if you had an iPod or an MP3 player or something that you wanted to use our sound system for. Simply plug that into the headphone jack. Ensure that laptop is selected on our controller, and then whatever you're playing will be heard through the system. So I'll plug that into my laptop. I'll open my laptop up and then press the laptop button on the controller. And if my laptop does not show up, like it's not right now, it's probably because I need to tell my laptop that I have an external projector connected. I'm going to do that by holding down the function key on my Windows keyboard and then pressing the F8 key. On some computers, it will scroll through these different modes automatically, and you'll just have to tap F8 until it's in the mode you want. On mine, it brings up a nice little menu, and I'm going to choose the duplicate mode so that whatever I'm seeing on my screen will also show up on the screen in the front of the room. When I'm all done with whatever it is I'm doing in the classroom, I'm going to go ahead and come back to the display up here on my controller and hit the off button. And that's going to power the projector off, which is important so that we can save the life of the projector bulb. Right here on the desktop is a written version of what I've told you on the video here. And in the upper right-hand portion are the names and phone numbers of the Academic Technology Services staff. If you ever had any questions or needed help with anything at all, please give us a call and we're happy to help.